He's running on what we call Indian time. So we're here today on everybody's so-called Thanksgiving. This isn't Thanksgiving for us. This is a National Day of Mourning. And yeah, some of us, we still feast in honor of our ancestors, but it's a totally different thing for us indigenous people than it is for others who are not. It's kind of a angry, sad day. We got a lot of people here who aren't getting helped, that are indigenous people here in the city. We're still dealing with a big houseless crisis here for our indigenous people who shouldn't be homeless on their own homelands. We got families here who have been affected by police brutality and violence. We have our family, Paul Castaway. We have Travis Jordan's family. We have Ryan Gipp's family. We were supposed to have a family here for Karina Chosa, who was run over in St. Paul by a young white boy, and they haven't charged him yet. So the family has been protesting outside of the governor's mansion all by themselves for the past 3 days. So they could use your support. They're being bullied by St. Paul PD. They're not getting any answers to their questions about the death of their daughter and their sister and their mother. So if they decide to protest again, they could use a lot of support. I know it's been busy leading up to today. And we're not here to disrespect, the way that colonized holidays are observed. We understand that there's a way that non-indigenous people, like to celebrate. So if you're celebrating something today, being thankful for your families and that you're healthy from COVID, and, just please remember the families who are hurting, and we're hurting every day. We're missing our loved ones, and we have something called ancestral genocide. And this is embedded into our DNA. And so for me and my family, I'm trying to break that cycle of ancestral genocide. We have the highest rates of police brutality and violence. We have the highest rates of missing and murdered indigenous women, and that's what these red dresses here are representing. The missing and murdered indigenous relative epidemic. It doesn't just go for the women and the children, it goes for the men and the young men too. Because we have people that are males who are missing. We have a lot of family members who are still looking for them, and it's been years. It's a pretty big deal up in Canada. And we're trying to link up with our Canadian Indigenous relatives to support them as well, because it's not just a so-called America problem. It's a people problem. And one of the things that is really, really hard to come to terms with is a lot of these women are missing because of the white population, the police population. This is why our relatives don't get justice. But we see the ones who commit these crimes get to walk free all the time. There's a family up in Canada. Their relative's name is Colton Bushy. If you don't know who Colton Bushy is, please look him up, and that's a really disturbing story. that their family needs help. All families need help. So like today, you see a family member, you know, give them some gas money. Help them out a little bit. Those are what we call reparations, you know. We're not asking you to empty your bank accounts or anything, but, you know, help them out. This is a National Day of Mourning for us, and we really are hurting. We're really fighting with a lot of emotions. Some of us want to be angry, some of us want to be sad, some of us just want to actually have a normal day, and it's hard. But like I said, we have lots of family members here, we have lots of organizations here who always come and support NLM. We have Twin Cities Coalition Justice for Jamar. Of course, we have Revolutionary Sound. Of course, we have Racial Justice Network, CUAPB, all of these. We work really, really hard to bring solidarity between Black and Indigenous people because we're fighting the same system, you know. A lot of people come out and they want to play the oppression Olympics and say, well, my people were put through this and my people were put through that, you know. But besides that, we're still here together fighting the same thing. And it's this racist, corrupt fucking system, you know, that continues to murder us, continues to take our women and our children, our men, our boys. There's something going on, I think it's right now, over in at Plymouth Rock. And I can't remember who it was, if it was Malcolm X who said, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock, Plymouth Rock landed on us, and that's for real. That's for real, you know. After the people came and stole and did everything horrible to our people, you know, they sat back and they made it out to be like a celebration of killing our people and murdering our people, and it just continued. And that's why you see our people who were East Coast Indigenous people, and now they're here in Minnesota, and they pushed us that far. They pushed our people that far. And it's a struggle every day to want to go home. And a lot of people are looking for that, you know. They're looking for the spiritualness and a connection to home. And I'm one of the lucky ones. My connection to home is right where you're standing. This is where my ancestors were, Dakota land here. And next month is another day of mourning. The day after Christmas is when Abraham Lincoln, yes, he freed the slaves. He signed your Emancipation Proclamation, but in the same, you know, swoop of that pen, he ordered the hanging of 40 of my Indigenous relatives down in Mankato the day after so-called Christmas. So it seems like from October to the end of like January is a really hard time for our people, you know. Others are thinking of like Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and things like that. Well, it's hard for us to even want to join in on those celebrations when most of them are towards the murder and relocation of our people. A lot of people don't know that Indigenous people were members of this so-called America until the 1940s. We weren't allowed to vote. We were put on reservations. And now the white people want to come and take the land from the reservation so they can drill their oil and drill for uranium. So we have a movement right now that's called Land Back. And a lot of people don't understand what that means when we say land back. A lot of people think that we want everybody to go home on the boats, and we don't want you to come back anymore, and we're going to take this over. Kind of, sort of. But not really. We want our resources back. We want our treaties to be honored. And in those treaties it says that, you know, till the grass grows and the river flows. And the grass is still growing and the rivers are still flowing. But now they're suffocated by oil. And our family was out at Standing Rock for a good while. And we fought against the Dakota Access Pipeline. And you know, everybody wants to get mad at Trump, but Obama, he had a hand in that too. He had a hand in that too. We were at the camp that day when everybody was celebrating, and like, we stopped this pipeline, and I looked to my husband and I said, that's not even true. This is going to keep going. And now today they're pumping double capacity through that pipeline, through our indigenous homelands, through our sacred burial sites, through our sacred ceremonial sites. There's a big one coming up north for Line 3. And the governor, he has his hands in that too. Peggy Flanagan, you know, supposedly she was so opposed, but yet Peggy Flanagan is never standing here with the people. We see her on TV with her, you know, fake brown hair and her beaded earrings and her ribbon skirt, but she's never here to address these problems about the pipeline and the murder of our people. Yep, the man camps are a big reason why we have a lot of our women who are missing. If you don't know what man camps are, the pipelines, they come into our territories and they build these camps for their workers. And their workers continue to bring drugs, alcoholism. They take our girls, they sex traffic our girls, and that's how our girls go missing. One thing that I think that could be really helpful towards our people is like our men. Our men really got to start standing up for our people. Our men got to start protecting us. Our men are the ones, you know, who are warriors. And you know, like, I've been called a warrior so much, but I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm just Tonya, who's a mom, and I come out here and I speak to you guys sometimes. But my big thing is we need to get the men back into the system of helping our people and our ancestral ways. Because if you look through your Facebook, you're going to see a lot of women warriors. And we are, of course, we're the backbones, we're the life givers. But still, we need our men to stick up for us. We still need our men to come and support us and protect us. You can't have one without the other, you know. Men came from women. So we have a lot of awesome speakers here, and I just want to thank you guys for coming out and being cold with us. We understand. We're going to be marching too today because we need it. Oh my God, we need it. This COVID shit is horrible. It's really horrible. And I thank you guys for wearing your masks. And if you guys need hand sanitizer, we have that. But COVID is killing black and brown people at an astounding rate because we don't have the proper health care. And you know, that's one of the things that are in our treaties, that they need to take care of us and we'll take care of them. But yet, you know, we're sick, we're dying in the streets. We have a lot of people who are houseless, and there's a really good team of people here in Minneapolis who are working to combat that. And I just want to give a shout out to Sam, who does a lot. She does a lot for the houseless situation. So I want to give a shout out to Sam. I know she's not here. So one of the things that you've probably seen us talk about this summer is the police brutality. Our family has been directly affected by police brutality. My husband and my mother-in-law lost someone that they love very much to police brutality, and someone did an amazing job on a mural down at George Floyd Square of Paul Castaway. So if you guys can go down there and see that, that would be really, really nice. You know, we got a message last night that said we seen it on Nightline, you know, and that's all we wanted. That's all we ask for, is to be heard and to be seen. Because when you're not hearing us, when you're not seeing us, and when you're not feeling us, you're contributing to the extinction of my people. And that's a hard thing, you know, besides all the other stuff that we're losing our lives from. We have to be murdered on our own homelands. And that's a really hard thing to deal with. We get what they call gang stalked. If you guys don't know what gang stalking is, you can look that up as well. But the police, they're relentless. They're relentless. We moved from Colorado to here to get away from that, and it just followed us. My son, he was shot down at the 3rd precinct the day after George passed away. And that was a really hard thing to deal with. I'm still looking for a lawyer if anybody wants to help me out with that. I'm seeing lots of lawsuits in Minneapolis towards the police, and I would really like to get one going too for my son. Another thing that I wanted to mention to you guys is, like I said, no disrespect. We're not out here to, you know, shame you for eating turkey and whatever. But just remember us. Remember, you know, the people that are hurting. Remember our ancestors. Remember, especially remember where you're at. Remember where you're walking. Remember whose ancestors, you know, you may be treading on. This is the home of the Dakota people. And, you know, it's so sad. This wasn't here a long time ago, you know. Our people had teepees, and they were living by the water, and they were self-sustainable. And now look it. And that's heartbreaking enough right there. That's why we chose here, Boom Island, so we could see that. Because it really is. I don't know how many times I've been in that area there and not felt like I was home. And that's a hard thing. But like I said, we have speakers here. And one of the speakers that I want to call up is Henry. Henry is the brother of Ryan Gipp, and NLM traveled to Standing Rock in support of their family. They do an anniversary every year, and we've been going every year. So if you guys can give him some love, this is Henry.
Love you too. Let's do an energy check real quick. When I say no pride, you say in genocide, no pride? No pride? No pride? No pride? That's what today represents. Through and through. Thanksgiving is the history behind it, is the reason why this day is why we're here, right? A lot of you already know the history, so I'm not going to go through too much of the history. But that history is the reason why us as Native people and indigenous people have this historical trauma that we do deal with. Not only through these holiday seasons, these the white settler holiday seasons that we are going through right now, but back in the days with the Indian Wars in the 1800s, the 1850s, the 1860s, all up to the 1900s, there was massacres on top of massacres on top of massacres. And in this season is when the colonizers, the cavalry, decided to take advantage and totally throw away the rules of battle. We all had rules of battle. Our tribes battled each other. We weren't all peaceful all the time. We battled. Yes, we did. We're a warrior people, you know. But there was rules to battle, right? Rules of engagement. They threw that all away just to accomplish what they were out set to accomplish, right? to get the land, to oppress the people. They did any and everything they could do. They took away the buffalo. They mass murdered the buffalo to take away our source of everything that we had. So when we think about this time frame in this time of year, that's what it comes down to. It's not just only it's not just the blues, the winter blues, or it's changing seasons, which we all feel as human beings because we are connected to this earth. We're connected to this earth as a human being. We come from the ground. We come from the stars. We know this because we feel it. Some people are more attuned to that, but that's the truth of what it is. When you break it down, we all come from the stars. We come from the earth. So I just want to make sure that we address that too. This National Day of Mourning. I had a conversation with my daughter. She's 10 years old. I got here a little early, so I was parked out talking to my kids. I have two of them. My son's 13. My daughter's 10. My son's 13, and he's in that too cool stage, right? He's a gamer and all that stuff, and I never grew up like that. I grew up in the streets, man, and I had to grow up real quick, and I went through a lot of traumatic stuff in my life, and I never knew that. So that's kind of it's new for me to learn these things, right? But my daughter was like, I kind of asked her about Thanksgiving, and I know her grandparents like cook up and everything, and I just was fishing for see what she how she felt. And first thing she said, she's like, I don't celebrate this colonizer holiday. Oh my God, I was amazed. I couldn't stop laughing and just like embracing her. Regardless, because of COVID, it just makes it real hard to be with them on these days, right? Because I want to be, regardless, you always want to be with family every chance you get, right? But that just made me laugh. It was just like about an hour and a half ago. But so, as you know, Ryan Gipp is my brother. He was murdered by the police 3 years ago on Standing Rock. Tony and Gabe, warriors, from the jump, no questions asked. They know that you have to be there and support. You have to be there. You have to come out when it's uncomfortable. You have to make it happen when you feel like there ain't nothing left. You have to reach from the depths of your soul and bring it out. That's that strength, that inner strength that we have to address within each other. We have to use our voice at the same time with that. I'm here. I just came from Fargo. That's where I live in Fargo. I just made they made the event page. I just seen it. I said, I'm on my way. There's like, okay, well, I see you. I see you then. I was like, hell yeah, that's just what you do, right? That's what you do. You don't need to ask permission to do the right thing. You feel what's right in your community. You have these conversations with the people you have to have these conversations with because you know it's right. You don't have to ask permission. You just do. Follow your heart. You feel it, you do it. All right. I wanted to share something with you real quick. I said this, I wrote this real quick. So we got to get on with it. Who's all here? Did she come, Krista? She's still not. Oh man, I texted her too. Did anybody else text her?
She's talking on the live stream right now. She said she'll be here soon.
Okay, hold on. All right, I just want to share this. I wrote this a few weeks ago, half of it around there for the renamed Custer Park group that I was invited to speak at, and we was marching in Bismarck against. It was on Columbus Day, all that bullshit. So we was doing our thing in Bismarck, just trying to rally people, trying to inspire people. It's a little different in Bismarck and Fargo and these smaller towns where people just feel like, a lot of them feel like what we do here is illegal. You know what I'm saying? No, protesting is not illegal.
That's right.
It's our right. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. This is what we have to do.
Yes.
All right, I want to share this with you. Lend me your hearts for a moment. Now let's talk about American history. Let's talk about the atrocious game plan behind the term manifest destiny. Kill the Indian to save the man was the recipe. You see, in their eyes, we're nothing more than uncivilized savages, just a roadblock in the way of Western expansionism. But they didn't realize our warrior spirit and our ability to fight, exterminated through genocide, but they underestimated our resiliency to survive. And when they couldn't kill us, and when they couldn't kill us all, they made treaties which they easily broke for their insatiable hunger for greed in the name of the law. You see, America's roots run deep within white supremacy. So like the warriors before me, I'm willing to die for this fight, all in the name of my ancestry. So every day, when I'm burning sage or working, earning a wage, or when I'm marching in the streets, speaking these words to demonstrate I feel them next to me. All right, I want y'all to put your left hand up. Everybody put your left hand up. That's the closest to your heart. This is what we pray in when we have our tobacco. I want you to put it high. When I say, after I say this, I want you to stay, we're still here. The Dakota 38 plus 2 mass hanging and? I ain't loud enough, man. I gotta hear you. The Dakota 8, the Dakota 38 plus 2 mass hanging and?
We're still here.
Wounded Knee Massacre and?
We're still here.
Sand Creek Massacre and?
We're still here.
Smallpox and measles and?
We're still here.
The Trail of Tears and?
We're still here.
Forced on reservations and?
We're still here.
Economic deprivation and?
We're still here.
Homesteading and?
We're still here.
Flooded from our lands by dams and?
We're still here.
Boarding schools and residential schools and?
We're still here.
Urban relocation and?
We're still here.
All right, that's just a few. I could keep going on. I'll keep them up. No, keep them up. Keep them up. Keep them up. I could keep on going with that. Those are just a few. All right, keep them up high. I know your arm might hurt, but we out here. I want to read some Sitting Bull's quote right here. As individual fingers, we can easily be broken, but all together we make a mighty fist. Let's go. Come on, man.
We're still here.
Thank y'all for your attention.
Justice for Ryan!
All right, thank you guys. We're gonna call up our next speaker. We want to call up DJ from Twin Cities Coalition Justice for Jamar. Oh, Loretta. Oh, Loretta, can you come up and speak? There you go.
Hi everybody, I'm Loretta. I'm from Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamal, and I'm glad I'm out here tonight with all of you. This is I'm learning a lot about Thanksgiving. I've known about it, but to know that it's a holiday that isn't worth celebrating. Really, it's a holiday. It's a day that really we should be mourning. We should be mourning that 500 years of systemic oppression has been going on. Whether that's through broken treaties, whether that's through police killings, we continue to suffer from what's been going on for almost 500 years. From the land being stolen to stolen people working to make this land, working to make this country rich and not getting paid back. So I just want to say I stand in solidarity with Native Lives Matter. I stand in solidarity with all the stolen lives from the police. CCC for J does as well. And we got to continue to fight together. This isn't just a Native problem. It isn't just a Black problem. It isn't just an undocumented problem. It's we all are suffering under the hands of capitalism and systemic racism. And you know what? The powers that be want us to be divided because they know they can control us when we're divided. But when we're united, and this summer, we proved that we don't need the government to do everything for us. We've helped, those of us here have been part of helping the unhoused. When we've been part of the uprising, we helped each other with milk in our eyes, made sure we had masks and hand sanitizers and all that. And we've done better than this stupid government could ever do. So we got to continue to fight this fight. Just because it gets colder, just because there's going to be snow on the ground, let me tell you, I've protested in 100-degree heat, and I protested in 40 below. So it doesn't matter because they don't take a break in killing us. So we shouldn't take a break in fighting for our freedom and fighting for justice. So I'm not going to keep you long, but I'm just glad to be out here tonight. Fuck Thanksgiving. Fuck the day after Christmas. Fuck all these holidays that mean nothing. I mean, yeah, some of us, we do the thing with our families and that, but at the same time, now it's in the back of my head that there are people suffering. There are people who, this isn't a happy day. This is not a happy day. And we got to keep that in mind every time. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for letting me speak. And justice for all stolen lives. Justice for Ryan Gipp. Justice for Paul Castaway. Justice for Travis Jordan and Phil Quinn and Billy Hughes. And justice for Jamar Clark and George Floyd. And justice for all stolen lives. Thank you very much.
Actually, I think I will speak. Loretta inspired me. And I just want to say how important it is to make sure that we have solidarity among all oppressed minorities, right? So a lot of us are out here because of police brutality. Some of us are out here because of BLM stuff. Some of us are out here because of the pipeline. Some of us are out here for MMIR and just abolishing ICE, right? But we got to realize that all of these are connected, right? And we got to make sure that we're not doing these fights disconnected, right? We need to make sure that we have collective power and that we come together, okay? Because what's happening is that the 1% is just trying to divide us. And the 1%, they sit around and they analyze what happens where, and they do it in different locations, right? So right now in India, a lot of there's this huge thing where the Hindus, because it's a Hindu national state, because of Modi and the BJP party, they decided that what they're going to do is they're going to say that the Hindus shouldn't be marrying the Muslims who live there because they're trying to destroy their religion, which is the same thing that they do here in America, where the white people say they're not going to mingle with other minorities because it destroys the white race, right? It's the 1% putting a message into the people as a way to divide people, and we got to realize that. We have to realize that it is about the understanding that what the 1% says and what they do, their words don't mean anything. Look at the treaties. It doesn't mean anything. Yep. Fuck the 1%. Yeah. So, and I just want to say, like, we still have colonization going on to this day. China is debt trapping African nations as we speak and having segregated work sites. So we need to make sure that we're mourning this, but we need to make sure that we're building solidarity in our communities, in our nation, and around the world, because we need to all come together, because the reason why the 1% wants to make sure that we're all divided is because it's way more than us. It's way more than us, okay? So we need to make sure that we stand here today and that we show solidarity with our Native brothers and sisters. Because this holiday, or is that what people are calling it? This genocide needs to stop. So this is what community looks like.
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 This is what unity 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 looks like.
Native lives matter.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. All right, the next person I want to call up is Francisco from Minnesota Immigration Rights Action Committee. All righty. Thank you.
Thank you. Hola, me llamo Francisco, and yeah, I'm with MIRAC, Minnesota Immigrants Rights Action Committee, and we're all here today because we know this, but I just wanted to remind everyone that today is a day where white people gather and they actively ignore the fact that their ancestors committed genocide. Every other day they just passively ignore it. But day after day after day, they pretend like they don't know that the land and liberty and freedom that they enjoy is a result of rape and of murder, of continued oppression, continued exploitation, continued genocide. But that's why we're here today, to remind them that their genocide has failed. Because we live and our ancestors lived through us. We live and our ancestors lived through us. Their genocide has failed. It has worked to connect people, to create unity, to bridge gaps between communities that weren't there before. Because our communities have been shackled together since the beginning of colonization, and they continue to be bound together to the current day. But our communities are not only shackled through oppression. We hold each other tight through our shared relationships with the earth, through our shared respect for our mothers, through our shared strong cultural heritage and traditions. Our roots are buried deep within the rock and mud of this earth, holding this nation together, creating the true community that is the foundation of the United States. A foundation of love and empathy, of joy and respect. The true foundation that we create lies beneath the false bedrock of poisonous tar that they call the United States. Burn it to the ground. For we are the ground. And we're tired of being stomped on day after day. We're tired of having our families ripped apart, of being gunned down in the street. And when they can't murder us, they lock us up. We're tired of complying to this hierarchical society. The society that teaches us that the parts that make us different make us impure. That they make us unworthy to love, unworthy to be loved, unworthy to breathe, unworthy to breed, unworthy to pass down our cultural heritage, our cultural songs. Our songs were tears. They have turned to tears that stream down our faces as we mourn for our stolen ancestors. They have turned to screams as we take to the streets to demand justice. And they will turn to cheers as we celebrate the destruction of this evil imperialist society. This evil society that has lulled itself to sleep. After spending centuries teaching false history in the schools, the society has become blind to the revolution that is forming right in front of it. The revolution that has brought all oppressed people together. The revolution that has fostered love. The revolution in unity, in beauty. The revolution that sees the beauty in each one of us, sees the worth in each one of us, that brings out the best in us. And this revolution is the people against imperialism. And we are the people. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next I want to call up Kent from Anti-War Committee. Thank you, Kent. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kent. I'm with the Anti-War Committee. And basically we're a committee dedicated to fighting U.S. imperialism. And, you know, I'm thankful to you for inviting me to this day of mourning. I see these tokens of murdered and missing indigenous women, and it reminds me that there are indigenous people struggling all over the world. Not only here, you know, like in this city, tearing down the statue of Columbus. So turning the mourning that we have for our murdered siblings into revolutionary action. Tear down the statue of Columbus. The Colombians are fighting back. The indigenous people of Colombia are fighting back. The indigenous people of Bolivia. 200 million people in India are on strike right now, fighting against U.S. imperialism. So even though this is a day of mourning, and that we want to recognize that murdered and missing indigenous women have been pulled from their communities, we want to turn that mourning into revolutionary fire, and we want to stand up and fight back against U.S. imperialism. What do we do when indigenous women are under attack? Stand up, fight back! Thank you.
All right, next I want to call up Shannon from Native Lives Matter, who's been, you know, there with us from the beginning. She was there before, you know, my brother was killed by the police. But this is one of our original members of Native Lives Matter. Thank you, Shannon.
Straight OG, what? Hey. All right, y'all. I heard somebody say they landed on Plymouth Rock. Wait, what was that? Here's how I like to say it. We didn't cross the borders crossed us. So I want to hear you guys say that right now. We didn't cross the borders. The borders crossed us. We didn't cross the borders. The borders crossed us. Now, for real, y'all, I want you not to forget that. And that is not something that's easy to do, you know? Every day when you walk out on this land, like Tonya was talking about, you've been here, you know what, for 20, 30, 40 years, maybe more. Indigenous people have been here for thousands of years. Thousands of years. We have passed knowledge on intergenerationally, so we know this land. It is in our DNA, and we don't forget. We don't want you to forget. I'm a teacher. I teach farming and I teach senior science at a high school in Minneapolis. And to me, one thing that I promised to do when I became a teacher was to never ever stop learning, which I take really seriously. And this week, for the first time ever, I went to a place called the Pond House, the Pond Mission. Has anybody heard of the Pond Mission? Raise your hand. I see one person right here, and that's my daughter, and that's because I took her there. Y'all have not heard of Pawn Mission, and I'm going to challenge you to go there and read every single sign. Read every single sign. And think critically to yourself what they are saying about Native people on all those signs, because what they're saying is not right. We are the original inhabitants here. And they came along, these Pawn brothers said, oh no, let us start a school here. Let us teach these Indian kids how to be white, and that's what it says on those signs. And it didn't work. And it's not going to work, because we're not going to quit. We're not going to quit, because that is what we have. Indigenous resistance and resilience. And we can feel it. And we might get angry, and we might cry, but we ain't never going to stop. So we need you, everyone here. Do not stop learning about the injustices. Go to Pond House, read all those signs. Look at the picture, like Tonya described, of Dakota people living by the water. Go look at that. Feel it. Think about what that means. Don't never stop learning, and don't ever stop teaching the people around you the stories of truth. We didn't cross the borders. We didn't cross the borders.
The borders crossed us.
I want to say one last thing. Thank you for letting me say a few words. I'm Leech Lake Ojibwe, and you may not know this, but really Minneapolis is Dakota land. Ojibwe people are further up north. So when we're here in Minneapolis, this is Dakota land, this is Dakota land. Every footstep you walk on the ground, think of that. Miigwech. Woo!
All right, next person I do want to call up. We're getting close to the end of all the speakers. The next person I do want to ask to come up and say a little something is Taryn Vang. She is the girlfriend of Travis Jordan. Travis Jordan was killed by the Minneapolis police a few years ago, and he is indigenous of Hawaii. So here's Taryn. We love you, Taryn.
I wasn't planning on speaking. Hello everyone, my name is Taryn Vang. My boyfriend Travis Jordan was murdered by the 4th Precinct on November 9th, 2018 during a mental health crisis. I want to thank Native Lives Matter, Tonya and Gabe, for being there, for finding me on Facebook, and just taking me into their family, and just accepting me as one of their own, and always fighting for Travis, always giving me a platform to speak on. I've noticed a lot of things since being in this movement because of Travis, trying to get his name out there, and I think that all the indigenous people need to be respected more. I've seen them at protests being asked to speak, being co-hosts, but never getting the time to speak. I don't understand that. There's a lot of things that need to be learned. Respect is easy to give and to be given, and they need to be given the time to speak about all of these important issues. I know that I have learned so much from them. I celebrate Thanksgiving every single year, and this is the first that I've heard of it. There's a lot of learning that I need to do too, a lot of unlearning and relearning history, everything that we need to do to be better allies, to better support indigenous people. We may not understand their pain, but we can empathize. And if you don't know what you can do to help, just ask. Ask Gabe and Tonya. Ask other natives what you can do to help. And yeah, I stand in solidarity with you all, and thank you for always being there for Travis and for me, and always helping us in any way possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Taryn. We love you. We love you. Okay, I'm gonna ask one more other person to come up. When people are murdered by the police, man, we don't care what color they are. We go out we go out, we reach out to the family, we reach out to the friends, and we let them know, hey, we're here. We're here for you. Well, you're not alone in this. Let's go shut some shit down. Shit. So, the next person I want to call up is the friend of Thurman Blevins. Can you hear me? His name is Andre. This is the friend of Thurman Blevins who was killed by the Minneapolis Police Department too. What's going down, y'all? My name is Andre Friedman. My friend Thurman Blevins was killed by the Minneapolis Police Department June 23rd, 2018 during a botched pull-up, is what I call it. As his friend and being someone who is learning a lot from this movement, and someone who is being daily educated by Tonya and Gabe on indigenous culture, I stand in pure 100% solidarity with them and this day of mourning. In my lifetime, this day was just a day where we came out, ate, and misrepresented what this day was truly about. So I stand in solidarity with them. I stand in solidarity with families of stolen lives, and I appreciate y'all for coming out here today. Thank y'all. All right, thank you guys. Thank you. All right, I think we might have one more speaker. But all right, well, we're waiting. Just go ahead and do this. Native lives, we matter here.
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 Fuck ThanksKilling. Fuck ThanksKilling. Fuck ThanksKilling. Fuck ThanksKilling. And fuck Trump too, goddammit. Shit. Yeah, fuck Trump. I'm so glad that he's getting out of that goddamn office. Saying, when I remember the day that his ass got inaugurated, we was out here shutting that shit down because that motherfucker did some nasty shit. He went and signed, the first thing he signed in order when he got in office was the Dakota Access Pipeline. Fuck him! Fuck him! And and the next person that we found out who else had their names on this, man, was Obama and Michelle. They had their names on the pipeline, and we did find out too that Biden is for fracking. Fuck that shit. That's what's killing our fucking people. That's what's killing our land. Because when they do that, then they gotta build man camps like we've been out here saying. And then we have to sit here and we have to do the candlelight thing for the MMIW, and man, that's enough. That's enough of that shit. Now, I'm glad that his ass is getting out of there, man, because that's way too much fucking just uneasiness. I think that was a fucking joke that his ass was president. You know what I'm saying? So today is National Day of Mourning. The original date is October 16th. I found out that it was Roosevelt's ass that turned it to the last Thursday of November. The National Day of Mourning. This day, we commemorate and honor the Pequot people of 1637 who was killed by the pirates coming on those goddamn ships. They came here thinking that everything was good, trying to befriend the Indians. Then they started snatching them up and sending them out back to Spain as slaves. And this was before they brought black people over, people. A lot of people was dealing with slavery too here. So when I think of this day, National Day of Mourning, man, that's what I think of. I think of I remember those Pequot people I can only imagine what the fuck was going on, and you know, the damn killings that they were going through. And all they were trying to do was teach these people how to live, how to survive. They showed them how to grow corn, how to grow rice, how to fish, because these people were coming over here. Not knowing what the fuck how they were gonna live here. So a lot of them were lost. So that's what I call them, the lost people of the boats. So I just wanted to come out here and speak a little bit of history of the Pequot people, because that really, you know, I really took to heart when I read the story about what happened to them. So, so our prayers, our solidarity go out to the people who went through the genocide and the killings of all this. Okay, my wife just reminded me that tomorrow is the anniversary of J. Scott Widmark. He was a native guy that was killed in 2018 in, I think it was Bemidji. The next day, the Bemidji police went and killed Tony May in 2018. So back then in 2018, we went and did a candlelight vigil for Travis Jordan, J. Scott Widmark, and Vernon May. We did all three of these all at once, and that was the first time that I met Taryn. And man, it was fucking cold. It was cold, freezing cold. You know, but like my wife said, we come out here, rain, sleet, snow, hot heat. Yeah, my wife says hashtag bitch, I got my snowsuit. So I thank you guys for coming out here. Thank you guys. I didn't think there was gonna be this many people. I thought there was gonna be a few, and we was gonna stand out here and go home.
We got your back! 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 We got your back!
Thank you, and we got your motherfucking backs too, goddammit. But yeah, we want to thank you guys. We want to give a shout out to all the marshals who always help. Give a shout out to all of them who keep some of the crowd safe. And we want to give a shout out to all the medics, to our Southern Indigenous Sister Collie right there, street medics, and to the NLG, to BLM for standing with us, AWC, MIRAC. We want to thank you guys. Black Lives Matter Minnesota, Black Lives Matter Twin Cities. We thank you guys for standing with us, and we stand with you too, all the way through. So we thank you guys, man. Thank you for this day. Thank you guys for coming out here with us, and we appreciate it the most. And we hope to see you guys out more, because there'll be more actions other than this shit. Thank you guys, though. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
But I have some signs up here if you guys want to carry them, and then I have 2 banners that need to be carried as well if you guys can help with that. And we'll get the van on the road so we can go.
I got one side of the banner.
And can you please return our signs? Please return the signs. About like 60 signs. 2 left. And if you have our signs, please put them in your windows or your yard or in the back of your trucks or whatever.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching our live stream tonight. We're in Minneapolis and Boom Island Park. Right on the Mississippi River. There's downtown right there. We're here today for the National Day of Mourning, and just heard from a bunch of speakers from a bunch of different organizations. and the group is getting ready to march right now. I don't know how cold it is, but it's pretty cold outside tonight. So I think everybody's happy to start walking. I think we're going to try to keep streaming while we march, but might cut it off if it ends up just being dark and you can't see anything. Again, we're live in Minneapolis right now in Boom Island Park for National Day of Mourning with Native Lives Matter and a bunch of different groups. Hand me the coffee. I can maybe just put this away. I don't need it anymore. Do you want some coffee?
Even my sister, like, she kind of like, she's just so anxious and shit, that like literally just like freaking out the whole time she's there. I made it. I'm quarantine boredom, you know. I'm planning on eventually like making it a fundraiser for my house community. So yeah, something like that. It's still like in the works. Transportation, I just cut it out. I'm like, my thought is to just like take
say Native lives, you say matter. Native lives, Native lives, Native lives, Native lives, Native lives. I can't hear you. Native lives, Native lives, Native lives, Native lives. When I say whose land, you say Dakota land. Whose land? Whose land? Whose land? Whose street? Whose land? Whose street? Whose street? Whose land?
Yeah. Melodic, what up? Check
Okay.
it.
No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets, say fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets, say fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets, say fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets, say fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets, say fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets, say fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets, say fuck the police. No justice, no peace. No pride in genocide. 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 Native lives, we matter here. 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 When I say no more, you say stolen sisters. No more. No more. No more. No more. No more. Bring her home. 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 Bring her home.
We black, we brown, we taking over this town. Say what?
We black, we brown, we taking over this town.
Say what?
We black, we brown, we taking over this town.
Say what?
We black, we brown, we taking over this town.
Say what?
We black, we brown, we taking over this town.
Say what?
We black, we brown, we taking over this town.
Say what? All right, everyone get to the right. We need to stay on the right side of the street, okay? All right, Native lives, they matter here.
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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Fuck 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Fuck 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Fuck 12.
Fuck 12. this shit down! Boots! Boots! Boots on the ground! We're here! We're here! To shut this shit down! Boots! Boots! Boots on the ground! We're here! We're here! To shut this shit down! Boots! Boots! Boots on the ground! We're here! We're here! To shut this shit down! I believe that we will win! 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 I know 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 that we will win! I believe 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 that we will win! That we will win. Let's go. I believe that we will win. Let's go. I believe that we will win. 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 This is what community looks like. 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 This is what unity 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 looks like. This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. This is what unity looks like. This is what unity looks like. ACAB. All cops are bastards. ACAB. All cops are bastards. ACAB. All cops are bastards. ACAB. All cops are bastards.
Fuck Thanksgiving!
Fuck Thanksgiving.
Fuck Thanksgiving!
Fuck Thanksgiving.
More like Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving.
More like Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving.
Fuck Thanksgiving!
Fuck Thanksgiving.
More like Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving.
Fuck Thanksgiving!
Fuck Thanksgiving.
More like Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving.
There's no pride in genocide!
There's no pride in genocide.
There's no pride in genocide!
There's no pride in genocide.
There's no pride in genocide! Fuck Thanksgiving! More like Thanksgiving! Fuck Thanksgiving! More like Thanksgiving! Many lives we matter here! Many lives we matter here! Our people are sacred! Our people are sacred! Our land is sacred! Our land is sacred! Fuck Thanksgiving! Fuck Thanksgiving! More like Thanksgiving! More like Thanksgiving! More like Thanksgiving! More like Thanksgiving! Fuck Thanksgiving! Fuck Thanksgiving! Fuck Thanksgiving! Fuck Thanksgiving! We are still here! We are still here! We
guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send them to the candlelight. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send them killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
When I say how do you spell racist, you say USA, okay? How do you spell racist?
USA.
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 For native laws, we mobilize.
Native laws, we mobilize.
For native laws, we mobilize.
Native laws, we mobilize.
For native laws, we mobilize.
Native laws, we mobilize.
For native laws, we mobilize.
Native laws, we mobilize.
For native laws, we mobilize.
Native laws, we mobilize.
If Paul don't get it, if Paul don't get it, if Paul don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Ryan don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Ryan don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Ryan don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Travis don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Travis don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Travis don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Isaac don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Isaac don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Isaac don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Travis don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Paul don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Billy don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Paul don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Ryan don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Billy don't get it,
Burn it down.
if Isaac don't get it, if Billy don't get it, if George don't get it, if Brianna don't get it, shut it down! Shut it down! Burn it down! Burn it down!
It was like at this moment on Indigenous Peoples Day when we were crossing the grid and the laundry bridge had a medicine wheel on it. That was dope. No cops, no KKK, no racist USA. No cops, no KKK, no racist USA.
No cops! No KKK, no racist USA!
No cops, no KKK, no racist USA.
No cops!
No KKK, no racist USA. No cops, no KKK, no racist USA.
No cops! No KKK, no racist USA! No cops! No KKK, no racist USA!
Whose land? Whose land? Whose land? Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose land?
Our land!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose land?
Dakota land!
Whose land?
Dakota land! We're sick and tired. They need to be fired. We're sick and tired. They need to be fired. We're sick and tired. They need to be fired. We're sick and tired. They need to be fired. We're sick and tired. They need to be fired. We're sick and tired. They need to be fired. We're sick and tired. They need to be fired. We're sick and tired. They need to
names of our missing and murdered Indigenous women. 18-year-old Ariana Buckanaga was killed here. When I say Ariana, you say Buckanaga. Ariana Buckanaga. Ariana Buckanaga. Ariana Buckanaga. Ariana Buckanaga. When I say Selena, you say not afraid. Selena not afraid. Selena not afraid. Selena not afraid. Genie, you say Keezer. Genie,
Keezer.
Genie,
Keezer.
Genie,
Keezer.
Genie,
Keezer.
Genie.
Keezer.
Fire, baby, you're a queen.
You're amazing.
She's a queen on the mic.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I know that we will win. I know that we will win. I believe 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 that we will win. I know 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 that we will win. I believe 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 that we will win. I know 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 that we will win. ACAB. All cops are bastards. 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 No good cops in the racist system. 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 ACAB. All cops are bastards. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. I said 9, 10, 11, 12. 5, 12. 5, 12. 5, 12. 5, 12. 5, 12. 5, 12. 5, 12. 5, 12. Pigs in a blanket, fire white bacon. 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 Pigs in a blanket, fire white bacon.
We love breakfast.
Tornado lives, we mama life. 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 There's no pride.
In genocide.
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 matter. Native lives 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 matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Latina X 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 lives matter. What a breath, y'all.
The home stretch, the home stretch. We almost there.
Oh, man. Fuck Thanksgiving!
Fuck Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving!
Fuck Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving!
Say fuck Thanksgiving!
Fuck Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving!
Fuck Thanksgiving!
Fuck Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving!
More like Thanksgiving!
Fuck your turkey and your signs!
Fuck your turkey and your signs!
There's no pride in genocide!
There's no pride in genocide!
Fuck your turkey and your signs!
Fuck your turkey and your signs!
There's no pride in genocide!
There's no pride in genocide!
Fuck your turkey and your signs!
Fuck your turkey and your signs!
More like fucking genocide!
Hey!
ACAB!
All cops are masters!
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 ACAB!
All cops are masters! The people united will never be divided! 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 The people united will never be divided!
If Brian don't get it! If Brian